Okay, is the only way to unbind the magic to invalidate the contract? No, Ruqya is enough. Ruqya is enough, inshallah ta'ala. The jinn doesn't really have its own free will. It does have its own free will to leave the body, but usually the problem is that the jinn is too scared to leave and is under pressure not to leave. So the Ruqya will weaken the jinn and inshallah ta'ala it will leave. Can Ruqya water be used for bath and drinking for children afflicted with evil eye or sickness? Yes. What kind of sihr is it that the magician writes on a stone in ink and boils it in water and gives the water for the patient to drink? You always hear different variations. But ultimately, don't worry too much about the variations. I don't want you to overthink about it. Because if I start talking about all the different variations, it's going to get very complicated. The treatment is broadly the same. And I have an article about magic that you drink on my website. Okay, if a family is disturbed by jinn in a house where they're living, and they went to many Rakis but weren't cured, what should the family do? Should they move out? No way. Don't move out. Don't change your life because of the shaitan. Exactly as I said before, and I think we wrote it on here, purify the home, Surah Al-Baqarah, don't be scared, and I'm going to add a fourth one for this one, and I'm going to say, do Ruqya for the family, not for the home. You may find that there is an afflicted member of the family. You may find an afflicted member of the family. A person sees a drawing with charts and ayat of the Quran, but doesn't know to whom it belongs or why it's there. Is this a vision or is it you see it in real life? If you see it in real life, destroy it. Don't ask who it is. Take it and get rid of it. As for if you see it in a dream, be patient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will show you where it is and what it's for. Just wait, it will become clear. Usually the dreams is the same like this. It starts off being unclear and it gets more clear towards the end. Okay, I'm going to have to speed up. Is it permissible to pour Ruqya water in the toilet? Also, is there a specific time in which this should be done? I wouldn't pour Ruqya water in the toilet. Now, you can use Ruqya water in the bathroom. Even though some of the mashayikh said you can't, I asked this to Sheikh Adil Muqbil and he said, yes, you can use it in the bathroom. But at the same time, we don't want to get people to have like a bad habit or to resemble the magicians, and doing these kind of things. So I wouldn't advise you to put it in the toilet. But the bath drain or the shower drain is just fine because it's not like dirty. It's just waste water. It's not like najasat and impure substances and things. How do we determine? I was waiting for this question. How do we determine whether it is magic, possession, or the evil eye? This is the big question. I'm going to give you an answer which will definitely not satisfy you. But I'm going to give you it anyway. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Honestly, the time you spend worrying about it is time you could better spend doing Ruqya. You honestly don't need to know. You will come to know over time. Trust me on this. Trust me on this when I've been through, wallah, I've been through the courses. I've been through the different methods, the hijama method, the reading on the different water, and does it taste bitter, does it taste sweet, does it taste salty? All of them I've been through. And wallahi, I have not seen that they have a great deal of benefit in them. The benefit is very, very, very small. Okay, the person has magic. What you going to do? You're going to read the Quran, Al-Fatiha, Al-Baqarah, Al-Falaq, Al-Nas, Al-Ikhlas, Al-Kafirun. Okay, the person has jinn possession. What you going to do? Same thing. Person has evil eye. What you going to do? Same thing. So at the moment, it's not important. Yes, later on, you can get more technical. You can become more specific. You can start, you can start becoming more focused. But in the beginning, don't worry about it. I have not seen, wallah, I've been through, I don't think there's many methods that I haven't seen. I've been through the sheikhs, the famous sheikhs all over the world that have said the different ways of determining. And wallah, all of it is dhan. All of it is just guessing. And I say they have مَا لَهُمْ بِذَلِكَ مِنْ عِلْمٍ. They don't have knowledge in this. They just guess and their guesses are often wrong. So I would suggest that you just be patient. You start with a general ruqya, and you start to, inshallah ta'ala, slowly deal with the issue, and it will become clear over time. As it becomes clear over time, bi-idhnillahi al-kareem, you can start taking specific actions and start focusing more. After 1-2 ruqya sessions, you have a better idea. After 10, you have a better idea. After 5 weeks, you have a better idea. And it gets like that. For someone with a very busy schedule, what's the most feasible way to perform self-ruqya? I think adapt either the 7-day, let's see, where's our notes? That's why I wrote these notes down so we can go back to them. So we got level 1 is the 7-day. 7 days is very good because it's very low time. It's very, very little time. Not much time at all. The simple guide is a little bit longer, but you can adjust it. In my simple guide, I give 45 minutes. But you can, if 45 minutes is too hard for them, you can start them off on 20 minutes to start with and build them up over time. But to be honest, I'm a little bit harsh with people when they say to me they don't have time. I say to them, if the doctor told you you had cancer and you need to come for chemotherapy, you say to him, I don't have time? You'll not say to him, I don't have time. Doctor says, you have 1 week left to live. If you don't come for this operation, you're going to die. Wallah, I've got a busy schedule. What can you do for me? No, Wallah, you're going to say to him, sorry, your busy schedule needs to go out of the window. Okay, how to use senna leaves. Okay, some instructions on senna leaves. Let's go for senna leaves. Number 1, don't use more than 3 days in a month. My suggestion. You can use more than that, but trust me, I personally don't use more than 3 days a month. Number 2, at Isha, I'm just giving Isha an example. I'm not doing this strange magic thing that you have to do it at Isha under the moonlight or something. Like, just for ease. At Isha, boil a pinch. And take a pinch and boil a pinch in a cup of water. So you take a cup of water, put it in the pan, take a big pinch, like not a little pinch, like a big pinch, like a big pinch, yeah? Put it in the water, boil it, okay? When it boils, switch off the water, leave it overnight, obviously leave it covered because of the sunnah, and at Fajr, warm it up and drink it. And do that for 3 consecutive days in the month. Inshallah, this is more than enough. Bi-idhnillah al-kareem. You can use it more than that, but I don't suggest it. You know, when I first started doing ruqya, I started with obviously learning what you learned and stuff like that. And then after I learned what you learned, one of the things I started doing is I got really interested in the herbs, and I started getting the recipes, and every patient I'm like senna, sidr and costus, and I'm giving them like honey, and I'm giving them seeds, and I'm giving them everything. And honestly, I came to the conclusion that actually you don't need to worry about this too much. It's useful, but don't overdo it. Don't like make it with everybody. Start with just the Quran and slowly add things on. How do we protect children? I have an article on my website. Wallah, I don't have time to show it to you, but there's an article on the website. It's called, Ruqya for Children. And basically we divided the children into 3 types. So we said that the first type of children are those who there is just like a fear for them or a suspicion. A fear for them or a suspicion. The second ones are the ones who they have a problem but they don't react. And the third ones are the ones who react. And we gave a different method of ruqya for each one. I think for the suspicion, you should just start with the 7-day program. If they don't react, just a gentle ruqya, like gentle 45 minutes a day, And if they react, you need to go to a slightly more emphatic ruqya, a little bit stronger. Like when they don't react, you can let them just play. You can just read on them and they're playing with their things. You don't have to be like, grab hold of them and be like, Allahu la ilaha illa. You don't have to be like that. When they react, you can be a bit more emphatic, but you have to be gentle because the kids can get scared of you. Sometimes the kids don't get scared of the jinn, they get scared of you reading on them because you have to be very gentle and very soft and never hit them. Don't hit the kids. Okay. Does hypnotherapy fall under magic or is it haram to do so? Last time I said that I was unhappy with hypnotherapy, I got emails from all these hypnotherapists who were really upset with me. Well, I'm not really very sorry for it. I'm still not happy with it. So I'm not, to be honest, I'm not happy with it. Wallah, I'm not going to say it's sihr. I'm not going to say it's jinn. I'm just not happy with it. Yani, what can I say? Fi nafsi, I love this Arabic expression. Fi nafsi minhu shay. My soul is not content with it. My heart just doesn't settle with it. And the Prophet ﷺ said, دَعْ مَا يَرِيبُكْ إِلَى مَا لَا يَرِيبُكْ. Leave that which you doubt for that which you don't doubt. If you see a paper with a drawing of a human being and a broken arm, and there was istighfar written near to it, how to dispose of it. I think we've answered how to dispose of the ta'weez bi-idhnillahi al-kareem. What do you do if your ta'weez is a voodoo doll? Like what do you do if it's a voodoo doll? You've seen a voodoo doll, right? I had it in the video, but the video doesn't play. So it's a doll with the pins stuck in. You need to gently remove the pins, reading over it. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Slowly remove the pins. Put the pins, you can break the pins in half. Put them in the Ruqya water, put the doll in the Ruqya water, dry it, and then, break it up, and then you can burn what's left, inshallah ta'ala. The metal that we've said how to destroy it. We've already said how to destroy the metal. You need to remove it with a file. What is the hukm of believing in numerology and using it? This is not permissible for a Muslim. And it may reach the level of shirk billahi azza wa jal, depending on what the person believes in. Can anyone who has knowledge of numerology fall under magic? Well, we saw the magicians use a kind of numerology to a certain extent, but I don't want to give numerology might be a big thing. Like people might have numerology and from here all the way over to here. So we have to be a bit specific. Someone who says this time is a good time or this time is a bad time, or certain times aren't good times. It depends whether their reason for that is a ghaibi reason or an understandable reason. If they say, Wallah, it's a bad time to work after Isha because you're tired, that's okay. But if someone says, oh no, this is not a good day because today Sagittarius just got in the way of Gemini and those two are fighting with each other, it's not a good day today. We say to them that this is disbelief in Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay. The false magic which is done in children's parties, should we stop them? Absolutely. It is a major sin. Can a mom give the evil eye to her kids? To answer this question, we have to understand whether or not the evil eye is restricted to jealousy. The Lajna ad-Da'ima, they said that evil eye is restricted only to jealousy. So they said that every single evil eye is based on jealousy. I should have drawn the arrow the other way. They said jealousy fuels the evil eye. Some of the scholars said no, the evil eye can also be fueled by amazement. Like, wow, that's amazing. Now, the senior committee said this is not true. But still many of the scholars said it. And in my opinion, I prefer the opinion that both of them can be done. I feel from the hadith of Sahal, the hadith of Sahal with regard to falling down from the evil eye, wallahi, it appears to me to be amazement. And this is an opinion of some of the scholars. If we say the evil eye can come from amazement, then it is possible for the mother to give it to her child. Because she might not be jealous, but she could be like amazed. Like, wow, look at what my son has done. Allah knows best. If we feel the child is affected by the evil eye, can we ask everyone in the family to make wudu? Okay, with asking people to make wudu, either you have a general idea or you have no idea at all. If you have no idea at all, so evil eye, you have an idea that it's one person, or you have a group of people, a relatively small group, or you have no idea. If it's one person, definitely ask them to make wudu. If it's a small group and you are fairly sure it's someone in the group, ask them to make wudu. If you have no idea, then you need to use ruqya. Don't just go around guessing like, I'm just going to ask everyone who lives on my street to make wudu. Like if it's a small group, like you were at a party and the child got affected, you can ask the people at the party. But if you have no idea, then you go to ruqya. Can someone who's not a Raki ask someone to make wudu for the evil eye? Sure. There's no such thing as this qualification of being a Raki in the first place. This isn't even really a proper qualification as such. Yes, there were some of the Sahaba who were known for it, but in reality, it's not like defined well like scholar. Scholars defined well. We know who a scholar is and who a scholar isn't, and who a student is and who a student isn't. But Raki is a bit kind of like, you kind of self-certify. Like I'm a Raki, but it's not like you get a certificate from the University of Ruqya. We have to make dhikr regularly. What about babies or people or kids with special needs? We do their best. We don't have to ask the babies to make dhikr, but we can read over them. أعيذك بكلمات الله التامات أعيذك بكلمات الله التامة من كل شيطان وهامة ومن كل عين لامة. We're not allowed to have pictures or dogs in the house because the angels will not enter such a house. What about stuffed animals? They are even worse. Surah Al-Baqarah protects the house. Can we play it on the phone? We've answered that. We said we can't. What should we do if we're away from home with our kids and the sun sets? No issue. If the sun sets, not an issue. The issue is it's preferred. It's not haram to be outside at Maghrib. It's preferred that when Maghrib comes, you should ideally not be outside with your kids. If we recite Surah Al-Fatiha and the sickness is not cured, does it mean our faith is not strong enough? That's a good question. No, it doesn't mean that. وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. These days we share among the people. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. So for that reason, you have to continue and be patient. Dhikr, do we need to say them loudly? For dhikr to be dhikr, you need to move your tongue. I heard that we should say Bismillah before taking off the nappy of babies. And we shouldn't say dhikr inside the bathroom. Before taking off the nappy of the baby, there's no harm in saying Bismillah. And as for dhikr inside the bathroom, yes, you shouldn't say Bismillah. If you're changing inside the bathroom, say Bismillah before you go in the bathroom. And then when you're in the bathroom, it will be fine. There are so many morning, evening, and bedtime adhkar. Should we say them all? Or should we pick and choose? Yeah, I would suggest that you say them all if you're able to. And if you're not able to, then you can pick and choose. We now have non-Muslim maids taking care of our kids. But they will not say Bismillah or dhikr when we enter the house. What should we do? Wallahi, my advice is, I personally would not be that happy having a non-Muslim maid or servant, to be honest with you. But if you have them, it's not haram. You just do your best. When you're around, you do your dhikr and you keep yourself protected and you keep the house a place of ibadah. But don't allow those non-Muslims to do their worship in the house. Don't allow them to have a little idol in their bedroom or a little, like a little cross around their neck or something like that. We have been told to say Shahada before sleeping. Is this correct? There are dhikr, there are adhkar that you say before you sleep, which are recorded. For example, a beautiful book you can get yourself there is a book called Fortress of the Muslim. And there's another book that goes with it, which is by the same author, which I think is called Ruqya, something like supplications, or it's called Ruqya incantations or something like that. Something like that. And it's by the same author, Sa'id al-Qahtani. May Allah Azza wa Jal reward him immensely for it. It's amazing 2 books. The Ruqya one is like a red or like a burgundy color. And it's by the same author. Because originally, I don't know if you know, but originally Fortress of the Muslim was a Ruqya book. And the Fortress of the Muslim you have now is actually a summarized version of a Ruqya book. Okay. Before having a child, the parents did not do regular dhikr. But after having children, they learn the dhikr and say them regularly. Is that wrong? No, that's maybe perhaps it's like a life lesson. They've been taught the benefit of it. Don't worry about the questions that haven't been answered. We'll find a way to answer them, inshallah ta'ala. We're going to put that on the brothers. So inshallah, some of the brothers, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, in about 10 minutes, we're going to stop with the questions. But what we're going to do is we're going to find a way to video the questions and put the answers on, inshallah. So you guys are going to have to figure out a way to do that, inshallah ta'ala. Because there's a lot of questions. As a mother, what can be done to protect my child if she or he refuses to pray and study? That's a big question. And I've actually got a lecture on that. I'm presuming they're a bit older. I've got a lecture called Teens in Trouble. And I'm presuming the child is a little bit older, but you can benefit from that lecture, inshallah ta'ala. How can we destroy magic done from the house to break families? I think we've covered the house in enough detail. Exactly what I said before. I gave 4 things. I said, purify your home, Surah Al-Baqarah, read the Quran, don't be scared, do Ruqya for the family members. My son of 11 years has severe eczema. Have done many tests and taken medicines to cure this, but it never vanishes. Yes, you can do Ruqya. It is best practice. I have an article on eczema on my website. The article is called Psoriasis eczema and something else, something like that. There's an article on the website, inshallah. To pour water over the head, can this be done in the toilet or should it be done elsewhere? It can be done in the bathroom, and you shouldn't do it. I wouldn't be comfortable to do it in the toilet, but you can do it in the shower or something like that. You have mentioned that audio Ruqya cannot replace reciting Ruqya ayat. Can you play Surah Al-Baqarah audio for protection of the house? No. The audio is audio, it's a tape. Can you play the adhan instead of getting someone to read the adhan? No, you have to, at the end of the day, it requires niyyah, it requires an action, and you've seen the fatwa in that regard. Is it proven from the sunnah to use black seed in a certain quantity or honey in Ruqya? Yes and no. What do we mean by this? We're going to say yes and no. Yes, the Prophet ﷺ told us, "Ash-shifa'u fi thalath." A cure is in 3 things. One of them is shurbatu asal, drinking honey. So yes, the Prophet ﷺ told us the cure for everything is in 3 things, and one of them is drinking honey. Okay. Likewise, the Prophet ﷺ said that the black seed is a cure for everything except death. So that is also yes. But no, in the sense that Islam didn't say to use a certain amount or a certain quantity, or that if you have a jinn problem, you should use honey. But the general evidence is very strong for using it. Because there are ahadith about honey, there are ahadith about black seed, and there are ahadith about generally using medicine, and ahadith about ruqya, which are general, general ahadith. General ahadith. But no, in terms of something very specific, there is no specific evidence, like as in, if you have jinn possession, drink honey. But there are plenty of general evidences, and I read you the fatwa of Sheikh bin Baz rahimahullah ta'ala when he said that this is not a bid'ah, this is not an innovation, it is min bab al-tib, it is from the point of view of medicine. Just like Panadol is not an innovation, likewise drinking honey is not an innovation. Naam. How to make wudu. Okay, we'll come back to that one. Can a person do ruqya for personal problems or common health issues? Yes, you can do it for health issues. But problems in terms of your life, I'm not so sure. I'm not so confident. I think it's better to make dhikr and dua for your problems in general. Like when the Prophet ﷺ had a problem, he didn't make ruqya. When he was upset or when he was sad about something, what he did is he made dua and he prayed. If a husband and wife get divorced due to magic and they remarry, would the magic have impact on the new marriages? It is very possible, yes. I have seen that happen. And it's important that you can't escape doing treatment. Don't try to escape the treatment. Do the treatment, whether you're going to stay in the marriage or you're not going to stay in the marriage, do the treatment and finish it. Don't let yourself get sidetracked. Okay, I'm going to try and answer some of the smaller ones, and I will definitely keep these. We're going to ask the brothers to do some videos, inshallah. I'm going to see if we have some small size ones. Okay, this one looks like, these looks like some small size ones, inshallah. Sort of. Okay. My forefathers practiced black magic to cure possessed people. Our house is haunted. Jinn and black magic disturbances happen to all family members. They are after the whole bloodline, generation after generation, for more than 100 years. Is there a solution? Wa Rabbi. Yes, by my Lord, there is a solution. Wallahi, there is a solution. But it's going to take some time, and it's going to take for you to really focus yourself. The first solution is that you have to, whenever you have a complicated situation, you have to analyze, okay, where do I start? What is my goal? I need all these family members to be properly practicing Islam, protecting themselves, reading the Quran, doing ruqya, and all of this stuff. But I'm not going to be able to do it to everybody all the time. I'm going to have to take it step by step. So slowly gain the knowledge, start implementing the ruqya, start doing the protection, start building it up, and start with the family members who are closest to you, then the next, then the next, and the next, the ones who are more receptive, removing the sins, turning to Allah Azza wa Jal, seeking His protection. Over time it will go. I've seen cases, it will go, but it is gonna take some time. It's like if you have, you're looking at a fort, and the fort is overrun, and the soldiers are inside, they smash the walls, and they're all over the inside of the fort. It's not the same as if one guy is knocking on the door, right? It's not the same thing. One fort over here, there is an enemy, but he's just banging the door. The other fort, the enemy is inside, outside, over the top, on the walls, climbing over, doing everything. The two are not the same. It's going to take some time, but it's fixable by the help of Allah Azza wa Jal. I never ever saw a ruqya case that can't be fixed. Is there any effective ruqya to get rid of a jinn in love with the person? I'm really picky about this. I don't do specific ruqya for specific issues. Wallahi, I don't see any benefit and I don't see any dalil for it. I don't mind it. If you want to do it, it's okay. If some sheikh recommends to you that you should read this ayah or something, I don't mind. But I have tried it and I don't see that there is a benefit in it. General ruqya and inshallah ta'ala the ayat of adab. Give the jinn, make the jinn scared, make the jinn fear Allah Azza wa Jal. And speak with the jinn if you're able to, and remind it to fear Allah Azza wa Jal, a reminder that this is not halal for this person to do. And the ruqya bath is very helpful, and likewise the olive oil is also very helpful. So the longer ones I'm putting aside for a while, I will come back to them. Okay, seeing worshipping fire and black dogs in dreams repeatedly. The black dog in a dream repeatedly would appear to be the shaitan. And worshipping the fire is something that was typical of the old Persians, the Persian religion. So it may be that some sort of magic or some sort of action was being done through that Persian style of magic, because that's what they do, they worship the fire. The person again will start with treatment inshallah ta'ala and slowly, narrow it down. unable to achieve success, even after trying very hard and praying for it, what ruqya can be done and treat it, like not able to get married? Yeah, this is a good point. With issues of success, what I suggest is that you have an approach which is a two-pronged approach. One of your approaches is going to be your ruqya approach. And your other approach is going to be your non-ruqya approach. And you need to do both of them. So for example, someone says, because of ruqya issues, I don't earn any money, or I don't have barakah in my money. We say to them, you can't just do ruqya and stop. You have to do the non-ruqya stuff. You learn why it happens, you learn the reasons your dua is not accepted, you fix the problems, you turn to Allah, you repent, you make dua, you make the dua of Yunus, you make the dua of Ayyub, and so on and so on. You do the things which are not related to ruqya, like leaving sins, turning to Allah, making dua, finding the reasons why success is blocked for a person. The Prophet ﷺ gave reasons. ثُمَّ ذَكَرَ رَجُلًا يُطِيلُ السَّفَرِ أشعث أغبر. He mentioned a man on a long journey, dusty and disheveled. يمد يديه إلى السماء. He raised his hands to the heavens and he said, Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabb. But the problem is, what? That his clothing is haram and his food is haram and his drink is haram and he's nourished on haram. فَأَنَّا يُسْتَجَابُ لَهُ. How will he be responded to? So there are reasons in the Sharia why success is blocked, which don't relate to ruqya. You need to deal with both of those things. Feeling the presence of an unseen object close to you during sleep repeatedly. During sleep, I have an article. I have an article for a lot of things. You can see these questions come again and again. So I have an article on sleep issues. I have two articles on sleep. I have one on sleep and I have one on jinn attacks. Jinn attacks at night. These are two articles on the website that inshallah ta'ala will answer the question. Sudden loss of weight in teenagers and crying suddenly with no reason. It may be the evil eye. Not always, but it may be the evil eye. And it's certainly worth investigating it, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, this went off, I think, because I think the battery is getting low. So let me just plug this in, and it might come back on again.